Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, I've had these for a couple of months now. I think it was since just before Christmas, and I've still not used them on my eyes. So we're going to be testing W7 eyeshadow palettes. They have been said to be dupes for the Urban Decay Naked palettes. I did have all three Naked palettes, but they were super old, so I had to chuck them away, unfortunately. But I have got these, so I will show you what each one looks like, and then I will show you some swatches, and then we'll get in and test some of them on my eyes. So the first palette is what I think is the dupe for Naked 1. Unfortunately, there's no mirrors in any of these, which is very annoying. And the palette looks like this. There's no name. Oh, the names are on the back of the packaging. So when I do the swatches, I will tell you what each one is. So this is the first palette. So that's called Colour Me Buff, the Natural Nudes Eyeshadow Colour Palette by W7. We also have W7 Beat It Natural Nudes Eye Colour Palette, and this one is what I think Urban Decay Naked 2 palette was like. So here is this one, or maybe this was meant to be the first one, I can't remember now, but I know they are supposed to be dupes for the Naked palette, so that is the second palette. As far as I'm aware, they don't have a palette that's a dupe for Naked 3, but I've got the dupe for some of the Naked nudes. This is called Blazing Neutrals on Fire here, and that is what it looks like inside. There's just 6 colours in that one, so now I will show you the swatches of all the colours. Okay, so the first palette we are going to swatch is the In the Buff palette, and I will talk you through which shade is which and the names. Okay, so here are the swatches. They haven't swatched very well, but we'll go in on the top row from left to right. Is it your left? Yeah, left to right. We're going, it's Buff, Camel, Sand, Dust, Chocolate and Topaz. That is the top row from left to right. I don't think you can see Buff, there it is. And then the bottom row from left to right is Earth, Storm, Silk, Wave, Thunder and Onyx. Okay, the next palette we are swatching is the W7 Beat It palette. And here are the swatches. You can see them, one's better than the other one. So from left to right on the top row, Bigger, Moonshadow, Late Again, the Full Monty, Film Star and Candlelight. That is the top row. That is Bigger at the top there on the left. And you can't really see that from far away. And the bottom row is Loved Up, Make a Wish, Teacher's Pet, Billboard, Loaded and The Gambler. That Loaded is beautiful, that orangey bronze one on the bottom. So yeah, they are from the second palette. As you can see, there's a lot of fallout on my hand from swatching. That is one thing I'm worried about on my face. And the final palette we are swatching is the Blazing palette. This is Neutrals on Fire. It's not very focused there. This has just got 6 shades in it. So here are the swatches. Okay, there they are. So from top to bottom, left to right, we've got Matchstick, Hot Stuff, Hot Sauce, that's the top row. And the bottom row, we have Lava, Alarming and Muy Caliente. I think that's how you say the bottom one. Muy Caliente. I love Lava, which is this beautiful orange shade here, bottom left. Okay, so I think we're going to use the first shade out of the In the Buff one. Oops, just come with a little brush, but I'm going to use my own brush. Like I said, there's no mirrors, so I'm going to have to use one of my own mirrors. But first of all, I'm just dipping into this first colour here, which is just called Buff. This is just for the base shade. There is a lot of fallout when you rub it on, but I'm just going to pop that all over my lid. Just with a big brush. There's not really much colour, but it just sets what's already on my eyes, such as the foundation etc, etc. There's a bit of fallout once it's on, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Yeah, so you won't be able to see, I don't think, because it's such a light colour, but there's a hell of a lot of fallout on here. Luckily it's only fell out on the base shade, so there's not a lot of the shade to have been put all over my face, which is good. So next up, let's have a look in Beat It, see if there's a crease shade. No, there's not really a crease shade that I'd like to use in there, so I'm going to go in with this shade here, this matte brown, and this is called Chocolate. So I'm going to go in with Chocolate and just pop that in the crease, just using my Deluxe crease brush. I am going to clean my makeup brushes after I've done this. So again, there's a lot of fallout in the pan once you've tapped your brush into it, as you can see there. So I'm hoping this doesn't go all over my face since I've just done all my base makeup. Maybe I'm silly, but I always do my base makeup before. So I'm just going to pop this into the crease. Yeah, there's not much payoff, to be perfectly honest. But it's not too bad. It's a very, very light, oh, can you hear my tummy? Very, very light pigmented shadow, but it's quite buildable and there's not that much fallout on my face. As you can, there's a tiny bit, as you can see, but I'll just rub that off. It's a decent colour though, it's not too bad. And I'm just going to take that just onto the outer corner of my eyes as well. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad, but yeah, very, very, very powdery in the palette. Also, I look very white underneath my hair, like it's as if my bronzer just stops and it's white, but that is because I've put some powder on my hair, so like it kind of makes it more voluminous, and now I just look like I've got incredibly white skin on my head, but it is just because of that. So yes. Okay, I'm not too much of a fan of these, I have to say. I mean, if you're looking for a cheap dupe of Urban Decay, then go for it. If you don't mind spending more time building and buffing up. But I don't know, it just seems patchy to me. Like, as you can see, like it's all here and then there's like a patch of lightness there. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go into the Beat It palette next, because there's a few deeper shades in here, I think. Or we'll have a look in the Blazing palette. Okay, yes, so I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Alarming, and I'm just going to go in with one of my smaller, this is a Best Angle brush. I got this for free off Beauty Bay, which is good. So I'm just going to dip into that. This is just going to deepen the crease and the outer corner. So let's pop that on. Again, it's a little bit patchy, but I'm going to keep trying to build it. It's quite nice actually. I quite like that colour. It's like a burgundy brown. And that's just, again, just going in the outer corner and into the crease. But as you can see, very, very patchy. The colour's lovely, but the payoff is super patchy. I've just spent a good few minutes trying to blend it. Yeah, if you look at the inner corner of my eye, it's just not doing anything. It's just very patchy. So I'll just do the other eye very quickly. Okay, so it seems to have blended a little bit better on my right eye. There is a little bit of fallout just underneath the eye, as you can see, but that's okay because I'm going to put a colour underneath it. Overall, the colour is lovely. It just takes a long, long, long time to build up and blend out, but I do quite like that colour, so I'm happy. So now we're going to do something on the lid, so let's have a look at which shade we're going to go for. Okay, so the shade we're going to go for is called Loaded, and it's from the Beat It palette, and I'm going to try this with my fingertip to see if I can get much more payoff. Okay, so there is what is on the finger. As you can see, it's a bit powdery, but we'll see how it goes on. So I'm just going to use my finger and pop this just onto the lid. Okay, so that is a lovely colour. That went on really well with my finger, but there is a lot of fallout from there. So I'm just going to use a little brush and just buff that little bit away. And I'll just do the same with the other eye. Okay, that is a really beautiful shade. There is a little bit of fallout again, so again I'll take my little brush and just move it out of the way. So that is the top of my eyes done. Now I'm going to look for a colour to go just underneath the eye, because I always feel like I look weird if I don't have a colour underneath my eye as well. So I'm just going to use one of these brushes. I find it better to use a bit of a bigger brush because it smokes out a little bit underneath. So which colour should we go for underneath the lid? I think I might go for another shimmer shade because it is very pretty. I'm going to go for this one here, which is called Lava, which is a beautiful shade. It's a shimmer shade, but it doesn't really matter, does it? There's no rules in makeup, and I'm just going to pop this under my eye. Again, a lot of fallout. It's flicked onto my nose, which is never good, but the colour is nice, so that's a good thing. Okay, there we have it under the eye. I always feel like it pulls your whole eye look together when you've got something under the eye. Or maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just not used to having nothing under my eye. So I need an inner corner shade now, so let's have a look at the palette. There's nothing in the Blazing palette that could go on the inner corner, but however I have found something in the Beat It palette. I think this is my favourite palette. This is the one that I've kind of reached for the most throughout this. And I'm going to use this shade here next to the pink that's called Candlelight. And I'm going to just take a small brush and I'm going to pop my little brush into it. Again, a lot of fallout when you dip into the palette, and I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner and see if it does anything. Yeah, it doesn't really do much. Maybe if I put it on with my finger it could have been a bit better, but I always like to use a brush for my inner corner. That's a bit better, but again, not really much there. So now I'm just going to pop off camera, do my eyeliner and my mascara, and I'll come back on and give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I've popped on a bit of eyeliner and some mascara. The mascara I used was actually from my Glossy box, and it's a Manicadar mascara. I do think it's good, it just needs a little bit of building. It's not a one coat kind of mascara. And I popped some Primark lippy on as well because I forgot to do that before the video. So yes, so these again are the 3 palettes we had a look at. I got them all in a set for £5. All 3 of them were for £5. In a set, I actually got them from a local chemist. They were there and I was just like, for £5 for 3 palettes, I can't really leave them. The colours are nice. I don't like the way there's a lot of fallout. You do have to blend and blend and blend and blend these. They are quite patchy, but I do think they would be great for people who are just beginning with makeup or want to test out some new colours and looks but don't want to spend a lot of money on the palettes in case that's not what they actually want to do in the future or they don't like it. So yeah, I do think that these are great value for money. Can't really complain for £5 for all 3. So what I will do is I will leave a link to the W7 website down below. I have heard that some of the other products they've got are amazing. Maybe it's just because I'm used to using other makeup, other like brands that cost a little bit more than this. I'm not saying I use high-end brands. The only high-end brand I use is Jeffree Star. But I use a lot of like Makeup Revolution and stuff like that, which are considerably better quality than these. But like I said, for someone who's starting out with makeup, or if you want to buy, you know, your teenage daughter or teenage son some makeup, then this is great makeup to try. So yes. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want me to test out any more brands, any more palettes, any more anything, I am more than happy to do so. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you are new and you would like to see more. I'd love to have you here. And I will see you in my next video.